Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how I've been feeling over the last few days and some of the messages that you've sent me about suicide. Until I was in my most recent abusive relationship before Michael, I couldn't relate to anybody who had ever felt suicidal or like hopeless. It wasn't until that very minute that I was on that bathroom floor that I didn't see another way to hurt him back the way he had hurt me, another way to say how hurt I was. Like, for me in that moment, ending my life was like the grandest gesture I could make to show the world how badly I had been hurt. That is where my mind was. It was almost like I wanted to end my life to spite him so that he would have to live with that forever. Obviously, I did not do that, and thank God, literally. But since I lost my friend on Friday night, I can't stop thinking about that space, that place where people believe that they have no hope. I won't even try to pretend to understand, because until you are there, in that very space, you can't. But I look at what is left behind and how can I help? His family is a family that I love very much. What can I do? Because the next 2 weeks, they will be surrounded by well-wishers. Food will come to the house. Money will be donated. People will come out of the woodwork. Everybody who knew Lonnie from kindergarten on, everybody will come out of the woodwork over the next 2 weeks. But then that all sort of dissipates. And they are left with, because death is hard enough. Right? My dad died of cancer. I knew he was sick. I knew there was a chance he would die, although nobody ever discussed it. And when he died, I was still so full of anger and guilt over the things that I didn't say and the things I didn't do. Suicide and overdoses and things like that are so much harder for the grieving because it's not just death. There's so much anger. There's so much guilt. There's so much why, unanswered questions from yourself. Why didn't I do more? To them, to being angry with God. Why did you let this happen? I mean, people who are grieving this type of death need more. They just do. They need more. And I'm trying to think, what can I do? What can I give of myself? So I was thinking a lot about what I received when my dad died and what I didn't receive, what would have been nice. And so I thought we could talk about it. Date markers are huge. When someone dies, even 1 month that they've been gone is very painful. That date marker, at least it was for me, those date markers, 1 month from when my dad died, 2 months. So I thought maybe I could fill out some cards and make sure that I mail them out so they get to his siblings in time for those month markers. You know, other things that we can do are scheduling meals, further out than just the next 2 weeks, actually asking people to drop off food 2 weeks out so that when the tide rolls back and everybody is grieving alone, that they can eat well, because you don't realize how hard it is to function, to grieve, to heal without sleep, without food. Truth be told, I wish I could just be there, to just sit there and listen. Even just to listen to people cry. I mean, I had that. In fact, when my dad died, Lonnie, he laid with me in bed a couple of days after my dad died and held me while I cried for hours. He didn't say anything. And it was the greatest gift he could have given me. Sometimes our silence, just our presence, is so important for people who are hurting. We don't have to say anything. We don't have to make it better because we can't. We don't have the answers. We know that. So sometimes just being in the same room, just being there quiet, letting them cry or scream or just say nothing at all, it's the things they remember when they look back on the grieving process, the people who were there just to let them be. I can tell you what not to say. When people would say to me, "Oh, your dad's in a better place," it is that I couldn't process that. Maybe it was my age, 17, maybe it was my lack of faith. I don't know, but I could not process that. I felt very slighted. Don't tell me he's in a better place. I need him here. He's not here. That's not better. Stop saying that. So I never say that to people because I knew how hard it was for me. Other people may find comfort in that. I don't know. Death is it's so funny because it's been part of our process for so long. It is the circle of life. Not to get metaphorical or Lion King on you, but it is. We're born, we live, we grow, we experience pain, we experience joy, we love, we lose, we grow old, we die. Everybody. Nobody is spared death. Yet, when somebody dies, we still, as human beings, have not evolved past the grieving process. You know, we say that we want to celebrate their life, but it's so hard because physically we want them here with us. And I just, the answers, could we have done more? I spoke to him Friday morning. Could I have done more? Would it have made a difference if I went and saw him? Did I say any of the right things? Did I say the wrong things? I'm trying not to make myself crazy, but I would imagine that everybody involved has 1,000 questions, and anyone who's ever been through something like this does too. But eventually you have to find the resolve that people who are at that place are at that place. There is nothing you can say or do to change it because that place is so far from my mind understands that if it was as simple, if encouraging somebody to step back off the ledge was as simple as asking the right question, surely there'd be a lot less suicide. I think that we just, as people, we're not satisfied unless we understand everything, and we just want to know why. We just want to know what could we have done more. We can't function or move forward without answers. We don't. So now all I can do is offer up whatever resources I have to the people that are grieving alongside me, certainly his family and the other people that loved him, because if I am struggling this hard with all of this, surely it must be 10 times harder for them. And I just want to reiterate to everybody that you are not alone. You are never alone. Ever alone. You matter. Everybody matters. I say it all the time, and I know it sounds cliche, but I can't say it enough. I love you so much. Have a great day.